According to me, I think that Kenya's property market is not yet in a stage where we can say it is a bubble about to burst. I think we are still far from that occurrence in our market as we speak today. A housing bubble is caused by low bank interest rates, variable rate loans, easy to get credit, willingness of home buyers to take second and third mortgages, long-term repayment terms, and mortgage that exceed the value of the house. All these factors always fuel demand of houses and bring borrowers into the market, making highly priced houses more affordable. A rise in interest rates and a tightening of credit standards can reduce demand, causing a housing bubble to burst. This is roughly what happened in the United States some years ago, where a huge default on loans was triggered by subprime mortgages. As we know, currently most of these factors still do not apply in the Kenya's housing market. Because as we speak, currently the country's mortgage market is very small, over around 20,000 mortgages out there, which is quite small to really cause a bubble and the likes. And still, our credit market is also has strict credit standards, which kind of put away many prospective home buyers. And things like second mortgage buyers, which triggered bubble in the United States, are things that are far from being a reality in Kenya. So all these factors, when they are brought together, they really shows that to speak of a property bubble about to burst is, I think it's something that is not yet for Kenya to speak. I think the regulatory forces of demand and supply will kind of play their part, because as we are seeing currently, prices are going down because demand has also gone down because of increased supply. So I think those regulatory market, or rather demand and supply mechanism, will kind of regulate themselves and stabilize the market, because especially the better part of this year, 2019, we have seen so many properties, or rather so many properties decrease in terms of prices. Prices have been going down in terms of buying and renting. So this shows that market has reached a point where it is kind of regulating itself through demand and supply mechanism. So when that is happening, it shows that market is still in control of itself and is kind of self-regulating in a way. But this is not to say that the housing sector in Kenya is off the hook. First, a report that prices have stagnated in the upper middle class is in itself something not to kind of believe into. Secondly, the fact that Kenya's real estate market is largely fueled through unconventional means. This is why Central Bank of Kenya commissioned a survey to kind of ascertain source of money being channeled into the country's real estate sector, which makes it easy to experience a glut in a particular market segment through, though by many this could be kind of lucrative. So what we are likely to experience in Kenya is a glut in a certain sector of real estate, but not the whole of the real estate having to go through a bubble or even a bubble bursting kind of a thing. So we are likely to see certain sectors of real estate being affected tremendously, but not the whole sector itself experiencing a bubble about to burst. But as we say, this is always my opinion, so you are always invited to study the market and come with your own conclusions. And also another reason why we are saying we are not off the hook is that while there are still may not be cheap loans in the country, there is still higher amounts of diaspora remittances, which are mainly being channeled into real estate, and those are the things that can also trigger a burst. Normally when a property bubble bursts, it usually takes the country's economic activity, particularly banks, mortgage firms and insurance firms are the ones that are normally affected heavily. What we are experiencing now in the market is, especially in Kenya, is we have market price correction, which is eventually occurring. Properties are, the market is kind of, like I've said, regulating itself. Also, it is logical that government should come in and have mitigating measures to prevent Kenya from going the Greece type meltdown that happened. So we are still not off the hook, but according to me, I think the market is self-regulating at the moment. So thank you so much for watching this this video. Next video is the last video on this topic of this Kenya's property bubble. So come back for the last video, and let's learn from this content that I'm always passionate about sharing. So thank you so much, and get connect and get in touch with me on the social media links below each video.